Hello there. Well, I had a beautiful silent Monday yesterday. And one thing I'm really starting to notice about these silent Mondays, and if you haven't watched my video about my silent Mondays, basically I'm spending the day in silence, but I'm also not spending the day writing or reading or watching anything or doing too much work of any kind. Occasionally I have been mowing the lawn or doing my washing or watering the plants, but that's essentially it. I am keeping the time open to go and into my meditation area and just focus on being and surrendering. And I'm finding that these Mondays are like an amped up experience of insight and revelation and understanding for me. So throughout the week, I'm throwing out questions to Source, God, the Creator. I'm asking to understand things in my spiritual journey so that I can have a higher perception of this experience and who I am as a being, a multidimensional being. And so these Mondays are giving me a lot. And I think that's because I'm giving myself stillness and silence to allow the answers to come in so I can hear the still small voice of the Holy Spirit, if you like. And I am getting a lot. And so yesterday, a big one came in, and that was the realization that I've now spent about, give or take, 6 months with a very, very simplified practice of seeking truth and seeking love and seeking unity. And that is simply, and I've talked about this many, many times, it is simply being able to surrender, doing my meditations, of course, but throughout the day surrendering and just letting go of all identities and attachments to anything in this world and in this system we've grown up into. And because of my background at NLP, I'm very aware of how we can be programmed. And that's the other thing I'm doing as a practice is I'm asking during the day and during my meditations to be shown my fears, my blind spots, my weaknesses, my programs, so that they can come out from the darkness, be seen, be transformed, be dealt with, be moved out, be let go. And so I'm finding, yes, a lot of radical change in my life, but because of that, a lot of peace, a lot of peace, a lot of feeling of oneness and unity with God, with Source. And that has its own unique experience. And those who've been there know it's beyond an experience in this three-dimensional world. It is bliss is the best I can explain, but it gives you this sense of nothing can hurt me. I am eternal. It's a beautiful knowing in your heart. And so now it wasn't always this case. So growing up, I was brought into a religious experience, a very strict dogma of Christianity. I'm not saying Christianity is entirely religious, but a lot of Christians have very religious experience and outlook in this life. And so that's how I was brought into things. And I started to look at everything as very black and white, good and evil, right and wrong. Basically, it was a very polarized way to be. And with that polarization, without being able to step out into unity with God, because we are taught to pray in Christianity, but we're often not shown exactly what it is like to be in unity with God. We're taught to pray, and often the motivation to push us to prayer is fear, is using sins and fear to push us into prayer. And so this can lead into a endless cycle of fear and guilt and shame. And so this is what I was brought up into. Now, I have come to a new understanding of what Christianity can really be, and that is the teachings of Jesus. Jesus, if you get a red letter version of the Bible and only read the words of Jesus, he had an amazing, beautiful, and transformative message, and it was about love and truth. So get rid of all of the rest of the Bible. I'm not saying that it's not speaking truths in other areas. I'm just saying if you just focus on Jesus's words, you get what I believe is the non-religious part of Christianity, the free truth-seeking part. And so I do believe in Jesus's words. I believe that if you read them, you resonate. You do resonate. It's you know truth when you feel it, when you can see it from a higher perception, when you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. You know truth from whatever holy text it might come from. You recognize it. And so that's what I did with Jesus. And then I moved out of the church because I was, let's just say I was put off by it. I saw a lot of hypocrites in the church. I saw a lot of people do as I say, not as I do. I felt a lot of programming in the church, and I was just a teenager. And I felt better when I left the church. I felt freer. And that led into a period of kind of resentment to God, because I lobbed God with the religion I was in. And so I went from, because Christianity can be very polarized. So I went from this one side of the pendulum and swung right to the other, as they say in the Hermetic principles, the law of rhythm. You're going to swing in the extreme opposite direction if you're extreme in any way in your life. And so I went into this kind of almost atheistic point of view for a little while, not for long, because I was always a seeker and I always knew there was something bigger than me, a creator. I always understood that and felt that was true. And so then I moved into spirituality, and that was a long journey. There was a long time between where I am now and where I first joined spirituality, joined as in took up some of the teachings and wisdom that was being shared. And then I moved into the New Age, and I got into a whole lot of other rituals and ceremonies and practices. I didn't ever fully adopt them though. I always felt in me that there was something. I'm not saying this is about true for everyone. I'm just saying this is true for me in my experience. But I found that I didn't need a lot of these magical rituals and ceremonies. And this is what I wanted to share today for anyone who's doubting whether they need them or not. I'm sure this might not be accepted by many people, but this is just for the people who are open to this idea today. I've found that I don't need much in terms of ceremony or ritual. I don't need any middlemen. I don't need any middle items or steps. I can go straight to source. I don't need any middle beings or saviors, or I don't need any of that. What I do find is that I can go straight to source. I can go straight to the unified field. My life is very simple, but it's still seeking truth and love. And so what is that again? Once again, it is just simply surrendering to God, to source, and allowing source to be feeding me the wisdom, intuition, guidance, and intelligence I need in each moment. Letting go of all the programs that I've grown up with. And when they come up, asking source for help to transform them in the light. That's basically my technique. I haven't gone to a lot of external people in the last 6 months. I haven't sought outside help. I've really built a system within. And so if you resonate with this message, it's just the right timing to hear that perhaps. If you don't, once again, I'm not saying that ceremony and ritual and intermediate items and beings is not appropriate for you. I'm just saying I don't believe you fully need them. I think that you can go direct to source. And so, as they say with game theory, if we're in a simulation and this is not base level, there's always going to be a way for us to connect to the creator outside of the simulation. Not through intermediate beings, which I believe are all part of the simulation experience. So this might be controversial. I just hope that it resonates with you, that you're getting what I'm putting down. This is just truly from my heart. This is the experience that I've had in the last several months. And I think I'm onto a winner here. But I'm always learning and growing. Things change and perspectives change. But I just wanted to share that. So please like, subscribe, and share if you resonate, and have a beautiful day. See ya.